This week on the Digital Coffee, the White House is embracing influencer marketing. If you were one of the lucky people who could create 10-minute TikToks in-app, you can't now. And if you have a legacy blue checkmark awarded to you by Twitter for being who you are, you won't on Thursday. All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news. My name is Amanda Webb, and I am a digital marketing ROI consultant and trainer. What does that even mean, Amanda? That means that I help businesses just like yours to get more return on investment in the time, the energy, and the money they spend on their online marketing. And right now, I'm helping a lot of people do that with Google Analytics training. I've just launched a Google Analytics course for beginners. It's called Analytics Base. I've kept it low cost. It's good for anyone that has a website. So if you want to grab your seat on there, that is the QR code for you to follow. Go and check that out. You can purchase the course there and you can start. It's going to be one of those days. You can start learning straight away. But enough about me. Welcome to the show. I can see we've got a few people watching. I would love to know where you're watching because I'm live in so many places now. It's like you just cannot avoid me. Are you on YouTube? Say hi if you're on YouTube. Are you on Facebook? Either on my Facebook page or my Facebook profile. Say hello if you are. Are you on Twitter? If you are, that's tough because I can't see. You can tweet me. I'll pick it up later. Are you on my favourite, LinkedIn? Do let me know, and let me know what is in your cup today. What are you drinking? Is it tea? Is it coffee? Is it something else? For me, I say this every week, but I know you don't watch every week. So just to remind you, I talk too fast. I've been editing myself a lot recently. I realise I talk very fast, and that is even worse if I drink coffee before the show. So that is banned. Sad state of affairs in there. Good morning to Kate. So we have our first person saying they're on Facebook. Now, let me know where you're watching, won't you? Hello, Kate. What is in your mug this morning? Do let me know. I should probably get on with the news. Just noticed my iPad's gone to sleep. So, that's the thing. Oh, look, there's Making over on YowTube. Hello, YowTube. Great to see you. Cuppa, nothing in your cup. Joanne, great to see you. You're on LinkedIn this morning with a cup of tea, a nice cup of tea. Great to see you here. Thank you for joining me. Now I just have to unlock my iPad. Bear with, because I won't know what's in the news. No idea what's going on. Here we go. I've managed to unlock my iPad. Let's get on with the news.
Hello, this is Rob Charles, the voice of Mike on Forever FM on Peter Kay's Car Share. BAFTA award winning, I've got to say, but I've not seen the BAFTA yet. Anyway, you're watching the Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Enjoy. I'm on tea. Shh.
If you want your business to grow over time, you have to keep an eye on what your audience, what your ideal customers want, and you have to move and diversify over time. And that's not just true for small businesses. That's true for big businesses too. Like Facebook. Remember Facebook? Remember when Facebook wasn't Meta? You remember when Facebook was just Facebook? It hadn't even bought Instagram yet or WhatsApp, or am I just old? And it bought those channels because they knew that their audience would want something new in the future. So they were future-proofing themselves by buying and launching these new apps so that they could keep the audience going. And to be honest, it's a bet that really paid off for them, isn't it? And now TikTok is doing the same. TikTok has just launched. Well, when I say launched, it hasn't really launched. It's set up a new tool called Lemon 8. That's the word lemon with an 8 on the end. And this looks like it could be the next big social network. And they're launching it in a really interesting way. It's not available to me in the Irish App Store, but they have given some influencers and some creators early access. And from that means that even though it's not launched, it's in the top 10 downloads on the Apple Store. So this could be huge. People have seen it, say it's a bit like a cross between TikTok and Instagram. It's very similar to, I have to look up how I say this properly, it's very similar to a Chinese app, which obviously I can't find the name of at the moment, called I've been practicing saying, here we go, called Xiahongchu, which is big in China. And basically it's a discovery engine. It's a place where people go to find products that they want to buy, and that discovery engine powers e-commerce. It looks like it could be fun. The early adopters who they brought in as influencers and creators in the United States seem to love it and really like it. So it has potential. We can't get it yet. But what's really interesting about this is all happening whilst TikTok's in a little bit of trouble because it's getting banned left, right and centre. And the United States are considering banning it altogether, as are the UK. Could adding more apps from China into the stream make it harder for them to ban TikTok? If they're just banning it on the fact that it's Chinese, will they need to go and ban all these other apps as well? Could that be the reason? Could it be that if TikTok does get banned, at least ByteDance have their own secondary app in the marketplace that they can build up and actually reclaim some of that advertising revenue? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to playing with it. And I have to say, I swing left and right. I have no idea how I feel about TikTok anymore. I used to hate it. I used to love it. Not sure where I am at the moment, but I still would be sad to see it go. Hello to Amok. I think I'm saying your name right, from Romania. Great to see you. Cappuccino. Oh, how lovely. Hello. Good to see you. You're on LinkedIn and drinking Arizona. I feel like I need to go and put my glasses on for this one because I could be reading that completely wrong. Emo, am I saying you're and drinking Arizona? Now you have to tell me what Arizona is. Thank you very much. And good morning to Deirdre. Deirdre is one of our regulars watching over on YouTube. Great to see you here. Are you going to try lemonade? That's what I want to know. I'm going to give it a go when I get access. I'm just going to go and have a nose around. Could be the next big thing. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it will. Who knows?
You're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
It takes an American election to help something in digital marketing go mainstream. May seem odd, but before Obama, the presidents didn't really use the internet to promote themselves. Obama was the first social media president. His success was partly because of his activities on social media, or so it was thought. And until a couple of weeks ago, he was still the most followed person on Twitter. Now it's Elon Musk, of course. But that was really what helped him market himself to be president. And then, of course, we had Trump, who took Twitter and did a whole lot more with that. And also, remember, Trump was the person who was running the Facebook ads that were part of, somehow, the Cambridge Analytica scandal. So that made Facebook ads something that really came to the forefront and people started using because they could see how effective they were, even if they were stealing lots of bad data, doing lots of bad things. This time, it looks like it's going to be Biden, and it's going to be Biden, not necessarily winning, by the way. I mean, the person who's going to use something interesting, and influencer marketing. The White House has been recruiting creators and influencers to their White House briefings. And, you know, a briefing room is something where the press go and they get their press conferences with, you know, the White House staff. This is now going to happen for influencers and creators as well, which is such a smart move. It really is, because apparently it is the younger people who are more likely to vote for Biden in the first place. People don't, whether it's right or wrong, they don't trust traditional media the way that they used to. They tend to rely on creators and influencers for opinion and thought. So this could be a real genius move. Could it win him the election? I don't know. But one thing is for sure, this is going to be big for influencer marketing. Once this has happened, it's going to become even more mainstream than it is already. There can be no doubt that it is something that works. I can see we've got some comments. I'm not going to attempt to do it without, oh, sorry. I'm not going to attempt to, I keep banging my microphone. I'm so sorry. Arizona fruit punch juice. Now that sounds pretty amazing. I'm sure that's lovely. And Making knows exactly what it is that you're drinking. So that's good. You can have a little conversation there. You can tell each other about your life. Howard Howie is here. Hello, great to see you. You have hot chocolate this morning. Nice. It's a bit, it's actually sunny. It snowed on, what was it, Wednesday? And it's really sunny today. So let's just hope the sun stays. I just need to talk about the weather because I live in Ireland and we talk about the weather. That's something we do.
Hi, I'm Kyra Fingleton from Glamping Under the Stars and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
You've heard it before. Your website is the most important part of your digital marketing. It is the place where it's easier for you to track sales and to convert customers. It is a magical, wonderful thing. But maybe you don't have a website. Maybe you do have a website and it's not very good. Or maybe you have a website and you're also open to getting sales from other channels, aren't we all? And we know that actually direct messaging can be a really good way to build sales, particularly on Instagram. And I think because Instagram has never really had outbound links, the direct message has been the way that you've been able to communicate with your customers and tell people, you know, what it is that you offer and sell to them that way. Turns out Instagram realizes this as well. So this week they've actually added something to their business pages, and this is how to use direct messaging on Instagram effectively. So here is just an example. It's not a very pretty example, but they're telling you all sorts of things that you can do to actually sell more through your direct messages. So this includes adding an ig.me link to your website, making it easy for people to message you directly from your website to any emails that you send out. Also using clicked messenger ads. They have an agenda here, but also setting up something like, I'm never sure which way I need to point, like this here, which is basically you have these settings within your Instagram to set up instant replies, frequently asked questions, and to be able to foster the conversations that come into your inbox. Now, if you are using Instagram, this can be highly effective, but that doesn't mean you should ignore the other channels as well. LinkedIn messaging. Drop me a message if we're connected. I love chatting to people on LinkedIn. I do a lot of business there. I even do a lot of business through Facebook messaging, even though I rarely use it for business. So there you go. Even without your website, you can convert customers using tools like this. I think the reason behind it is because isn't it a lot easier for you, whichever channel you happen to be watching me on now, for you to just hit the direct message button rather than going through to my website or scanning my QR code that I put up earlier, clicking around, find out what it was, fill in a contact form. All that seems like a lot of hassle when you can just send someone a direct message. So even though I'm not saying you don't need your website and your email list, I do think it's good to have these tools in place so that you can really get into those conversations that are built through the work that you are doing on social media. What's the name of the Instagram tool? So it's basically just put that up. That's Hannah. Good morning, Hannah. Great to see you. What's the name of the Instagram tool? It's built into Instagram. So if you go into your settings, you'll see things, they're called things like instant replies, and I forget what they're called directly, but actually they're really cool, really simple to set up and really useful for any business, I think. Even if you just want to put an instant reply up saying, I don't really look at Instagram very often, please email me, that could work.
I'm Louise Brogan, host of LinkedIn with Louise, and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
The creator marketplace on Instagram, they created this a few years ago. And it's kind of cool, particularly for all those budding influencers and creators out there. They can register there and brands can find them based on the topics they're interested in, how many followers they've got, where they live. But the problem for brands would mean they're already possibly using an influencer platform. And they would, when I say brands, businesses, you know what I mean, don't you? They would have to go through to, they go on their influencer platform, then they'd have to go to Instagram to go and find the creator interface, the creator marketplace in order to find the other people there, which just seemed like hassle. So I doubt, to to be honest, that much business was happening on Instagram creator marketplace. But that's changing because now Instagram is allowing the API. So that's the piece that connects like Instagram to other third-party tools. It will now connect to those influencer platforms, the ones that are used the most by brands. And that means the brand will actually be able to find all the information and even post opportunities through the creator marketplace directly from the tools that they already use, which I think is great news for budding creators and influencers, particularly for those micro influencers that are maybe influential in a particular location or in a particularly niche industry. I think it will be really good for them. And of course, it's going to be really good for brands who won't have to click around so much to find the people that they want to work with. And it will also diversify the creators that people work with, which could only be a good thing. I can see I've got some comments, so I shall put on my glasses again. I am in denial, by the way. I tried to read a knitting pattern without my glasses on this morning. Instagram deleted your account. I'm baffled why. Maybe it was the universe. I think Facebook and LinkedIn are enough to keep me busy. My heart goes out to you because that's happening a lot. It's happening a lot that people are losing their accounts, and honestly, they don't tell you why. There is a little beacon of hope in the future, which is that Facebook have, if you pay for Facebook Verified, when it comes to Ireland, when you pay for Facebook Verified, you get proper customer service. And I've heard that some people have managed to have their accounts restored using that, but we don't have it yet, and there's no timeline of when we're going to get that. FOMO creator has FOMO over the hot chocolate. So do I, Making. So do I.
Hello, this is Simon Hodgkins, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Something disappeared completely unannounced from TikTok this week. And that was, if you were one of the lucky ones who had this in the first place, I didn't, but hey, I don't remember the last time I uploaded to TikTok. If you were one of the lucky people who could actually create 10-minute TikToks from the app, you may notice that option has gone. And honestly, when I heard this, I was happy because I don't want to watch a 10-minute TikTok. Who wants to watch a 10-minute TikTok? It would have to be a very good 10-minute TikTok to keep me watching for the whole time and not scroll on to the next fun cat video, which is basically the only time that I go to TikTok. I don't think TikTok should be a long form video platform. And maybe this is a signal that it wasn't working. I kind of hope that it isn't. Now, I'm not a TikTok expert. There could be TikTokers out there that love the 10-minute videos, but for me, that is way too long for what I want to do on TikTok. Maybe it's deliberate, maybe it's a glitch, but either way, I wonder how many people actually want to know.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Jeremiah J-Man Monero with J-Man Speaks from New York, and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Make it a great day.
If you have a blue, anyone here have a legacy blue check mark on Twitter? So that's one that Twitter actually gave you because you are who you are. No, me neither. I know a few people who do, a few people that are actually doing the little segments here, had Twitter verification before you had to pay for it. And on Thursday, according to Elon Musk, on Thursday, gone. Unless you pay, you're not going to have a blue check mark, which I'm sure is kind of sad. What's really interesting, though, is a lot of the celebrities who do have this check mark are saying they won't pay for it. And it's clearly not because they can't afford it. You know, these are people who have a budget, let's face it, more than a tenner a month. They can afford it, but they don't see the value in it anymore. And that brings into the whole question. If you start, the whole thought of verification has changed. It's no longer meaning somebody is actually like really them. Now it means that, yeah, they're really them, but it's unimportant. It just means they're paying for Twitter Blue. And that's kind of sad. And actually, one of the reasons I haven't signed, I almost signed up the other day, and then I realized that I would have a blue check mark and everyone would know I paid for it. And there is a problem with Twitter that, you know, people do tend to like call out people for random things. And one of the things that people are getting called out for now is for subscribing to Twitter Blue to get the verification check. And honestly, that's probably the smallest reason people are subscribing to Twitter Blue. There are so many other cool features that are there, but I don't want people attacking me because I chose to pay for Twitter. I do want to give it a go. You know, probably not permanently, but I want to see how cool the other features are. So it's all a bit of a mess, isn't it, Elon? It's a bit crazy. It's a bit crazy. While we're here talking about Elon Musk, we'll be discussing him in more detail on the Digital Coffee Extra Shot. So if you're actually listening on LinkedIn, tune in again at 10:30 a.m. where myself and Mei King Sang, who is here in the comments, will be discussing these stories in more detail. And believe me, we will be talking about Mr. Musk in more detail. So, and we won't be mean, I promise. We're not mean about people. We're not mean. So, and you can come as well and you can share your opinions. So you can scan that QR code. It's an event. So if you go through there and you're on LinkedIn, you can just say you're coming to the event and you'll get a reminder from LinkedIn. We would love to see you. I'm just saying that before we move on to the next crazy story about Elon Musk. I can see we've got a long comment from Mei King there because I know Mei King also lost her Instagram account recently. And she had to create a new one. It was a rebirth and a great experience. It didn't feel like it at the time, but you feel a lot better now. It really sucks. It really does suck, doesn't it? When they just randomly take accounts down, which seems to be happening so often now. Okay, I've got to press a button. Bear with me.
Hi, I'm Carol Phillips from Laguna Beach, California, and I'm here watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Hi.
Did anyone see the BBC interview with Elon Musk this week? Because it was very interesting. It was very interesting. It was long. He actually did it via Twitter Spaces. So the BBC were recording it and it was on Twitter Spaces. I didn't see it on Twitter Spaces. I saw some of the interview on the BBC. Now, he talked about a lot of things. He talked about the painfulness of taking over Twitter. It was a painful experience for him. He also talked about the fact that he wouldn't have taken over Twitter, only he knew the courts were going to force him to. And instead of spending all that money on courts, he just went and did the whole thing. He talked about how he hated firing all those people. Apparently there were like 7,000 people fired or something like that. Crazy. He felt bad about that. He talked about sometimes sleeping in the office, in a library, in the office. And he was asked about that thing. You remember last year he put up a poll saying, should I stay on as CEO of Twitter? And he would honour the results of that poll. And everyone said, no, don't stay on as CEO of Twitter. You're an Egypt. And then he stayed on. Or did he? Because apparently he is no longer the CEO. We're going to need to go and look at official papers to find out the truth. No, he's not. His dog, Flocky, I had to go look at the name of the dog. His dog, Flocky, he says he has appointed his dog as CEO. Sometimes I think he's just messing with us. I really think he's just messing with our heads. Anyway, there you go. Bad Elon. Bad Elon. I hope we're going to see you to discuss that story in more depth and some of the other stories from this week. We've got a lot to talk about regarding influencer marketing, haven't we? We've got the Whitehouse, we've got the creator thing on Instagram. There was another story even that involved influencer marketing. So we've got a lot to talk about. I would love to see you here at 10:30 a.m. I will not be here next week because I'm away doing something special, which I'll tell you about when I come back. So there will be no digital coffee next week. But I will be back, same bat time, same bat place in 2 weeks. Until then, bye-bye.